Okay, good afternoon. Thank you, Philip, for that great introduction. And you did pronounce it right, so I don't have to call you Phil Hagen for the rest of the conference. Welcome to Rising from the Ashes, how to rebuild the security program gone wrong with a little help from Taylor Swift. As Phil said,
click there we go.
Nice. My name is Shelly Giesbrecht. I'm an incident responder at Cisco. I also dabble in security operations. I've been dabbling for about 10 years now. And we are really thrilled to be here today. It's my third DFIR Summit. It is Mike's first DFIR Summit, virgin. So we want to say thanks for the SANS Forensics family for putting this amazing event together for us. Now, those of you who know me well, and a few of you do, I love to talk about security operations, about the teams that I've been a part of, and what we do to help keep our organizations safe and secure. So today, we've got a slightly darker topic to talk about. So I'm really thrilled to have a really good friend and learned colleague with me to talk about that.
Yep. So as everyone has mentioned, my name is Mike Hracs. I'm a member of the Deloitte Purple team. So I do both incident response and penetration testing, as well as what Shelly does is I dabble in security operations as well, and I've been dabbling for about 8 years. So, it is my first DFIR Summit, and I'm super excited to be not only my first summit, but also speaking at said first summit. So I'm super excited. Without further ado, let's get started.
All right, so with data breaches and our good friend ransomware so prevalent in the news today, trust, reputation, and relationships are integral to the success of a security operations team. And we posit that without those things, a security team really can't function within a larger organization. So the question we want to talk about today is, what happens when your organization undergoes some sort of major incident, whether that's some sort of data breach, other negative brand impacting event, or maybe the security team has lost the trust of the larger organization for some reason?
So you have a security program at your organization. We wanted to talk about 3 key things, and some we felt were more important than others, those being people, process, and technology. Think to yourselves, what do you feel is most important out of those 3? In all honesty, we believe it's people. People is the bedrock of a good organization, because you can have all the technology in the world and be no better off. You can have all the technology and still all the processes, and you're still no better off. You need people. You need good people, people that are willing to work with you, adapt with you, and grow with you. That is the best way to rebuild.
So for security programs to work, like we said, you need to have relationships. But, wow, you don't need to fall right off a cliff. Wow, that went right out the window. Sorry, folks. Late night at the speaker's party last night, and I just totally lost the plot. All right, so this is a bit of a darker topic today, but hopefully with a brighter outcome. Hopefully we're going to send you guys home thinking that if you ever find yourself in this situation, that you're going to be able to rise from the proverbial ashes like some sort of crazy security ops phoenix and regain that trust, that pride, and those relationships, and become a team that actually enables business.
Mm-hmm. Now, we've built this presentation with inspiration from my gal, Taylor Swift. A song title of hers fits with every single subject that we'll be talking about. And you may be asking, well, why? Well, our answer is, why not? We do have to put it out there that neither Shelly nor myself are Swift on Security, the Twitter handle. Spectacular follow, though. We don't know who runs it, but it's worth a follow.
We were asked a few times.
Yeah, we were asked a few times. So our agenda, real quick, talking about people, process, technology. People, of course, most important, so we're going to cover that first. Finally, #winning, and then we're going to open the floor to questions.
So we're going to start off by talking about people and some of the scenarios that we find ourselves in when this sort of thing happens. So we're going to do some skits for you today as we go along to kind of help you burn it into your brain. We think they're funny. Hopefully you will too.
You get to see some Canadians act.
That's right. All the funniest people are from Canada. I'm just putting it out there. Crickets. Wow. So in this first vignette, Mike will be playing the role of a infrastructure guy who's doing a change as part of a new project he's working on. And I will be playing the bright, shiny new security operations analyst who just wants him to include a little bit of security into his change to make sure that we don't have to go back and remediate later, because we've all done that. Now, the problem is there's bad blood between these teams, because previous security operations teams did not share in the goodness that is security with other teams in the environment. And so Mike never, ever, ever wants to have a relationship with Shelly and security ever again. Let's watch. Hey, Mike!
Hey!
Hey, so we haven't met yet. I'm the new security person.
Okay.
I understand you're doing a change, and I was just wondering if I could have a look at it real quick from a security perspective, and just check it out.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. I don't have a change.
Really?
I mean, yeah, no offense, well, kind of offense, but you guys suck. You guys get in our way. The security team historically has just gotten in our way and delayed stuff for us. So I don't know what you're talking about. No change.
Ouch. For security to work, you gotta have the relationships. So if you're the new kid on the block like I am at Cisco, I've been there for 7 weeks now, it's really, really tempting to charge in and show them what a great hire you were with your wisdom and your ideas, and this is how we used to do it at my old job. I hate that phrase. So when you do that and you charge in that way, you may be, there may be some bad blood happening between old teams, and you need to figure out, what went wrong. Because at the end of the day, enforcing security for security's sake, or without any explanation or as to why or why not it might enable business, is not going to make you any friends, and it's a recipe for disaster. You will end up eating lunch alone.
This is true. So we wanted to break the people subject into 3 separate individual kind of topics. Transparency, involvement, and accountability. We feel that these 3 ideals are good for a security operations team. Transparency being, be open about what you're doing. Security does not mean secret. Not always secret. When you have your users' eyes opened to, well, the world of security, they're more interested than you may think they are. If they're interested in security, they can potentially become your entire blue team. And again, this leads right into involvement. By involving your user group, your IT crew, all of them, you're enabling themselves to be your blue team so that they can help secure your environment by thinking security. And then finally, accountability. You have to be accountable for, well, your organization from a security perspective. But you are going to be the guy that accidentally blocks reddit.com. That's a bad change. That's a bad accident. But you're going to find out real quick, because, speaking from personal experience, that, whoa, we made a little bit of a too restrictive change. So you have to be accountable towards your users.
Oops.
That's it backwards.
There we go. Now, I'm not going to ask for anybody to raise their hand, but I think at some point in our lives, we've all tried to get back together with someone. Don't raise your hand. But what that really entails is 1, earning trust, and 2, not keeping secrets from each other, right? So how would our previous skit have gone differently? Hey, Mike. So I understand you're doing a change this weekend, and I was just wondering if I have a look at it, make sure that you got the right security baked in.
Absolutely. You know what? I was bringing this change to the security team here, and because I don't really know what I'm looking at. I don't know what to do, how to secure this environment, or even make sure that it's properly secured. So I would love it if I could get your review.
That's amazing. You know what? Because, Mike, security's for everyone.
It's true.
Now, as the slide says, trust is hard won, and it is also easily lost. Teams with a secretive reputation cannot build and maintain relationships with other teams within the business. So you want to make sure that, just like Rick Astley, your teams know.
We don't have audio.
We don't have audio.
Never gonna give you up.
Never gonna let you down. Everyone participate. Wow.
That's all right, that's all right.
Okay. Which leads us into process. Mike,
Yes.
what can we tell these nice people about process?
Perfect. So within your organization, if you have an incident, how are you going to identify that? How are you going to define that? Who is the original notification of said incident? You know, your organization, think of it as a haystack, and you've got a bunch of needles in said haystack. And you're going to start pulling out those needles. But which one's the right one? Which one's, when you've got all the needles out of that haystack, you've got another pile of needles. Which one's the right needle to look for? In other words, don't go crazier by trying to figure that out. So you need, yeah. I have also totally lost where I am. It's a skit. So I'm the CIO of said organization. We're going to call it Super Mega Corp.
Super Mega Corp.
We have a client that called in, and they said they can't order our widgets, and they're really
awesome
upset.
widgets.
Awesome widgets, by the way, yeah. So I'm going to approach Shelly, who is our incident responder, our security operations analyst, and figure out if she can find out what's going on. Hey, Shelly.
What's up, Mr. Hracs?
I got a phone call from one of our clients, and he states that he can't order any widgets off our website.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's totally bad. They see there's something wrong. The website's maybe down. Would you be able to kind of go through the process there and tell us who, what, why, where, the big questions?
Man, really feel like I should have known that already, right? Web server. Okay, so the team lead of that team is new. I haven't met him yet. I don't know his number. I'm going to have to look that up. They might have made a change. I think I heard something about that in the lunchroom this week. You know what? I'm going to get back to you on that. It might, a couple hours tops. We'll get right on that.
Now, yes, it's a skit. It's kind of, funny. But if that happened in the real world, which is possible, how differently could this have gone if we had a fully populated CMDB? We had a list of who's on call. We had a list of changes. The security group was involved in change management process reviews and everything like that. How our corporate environments are always in a constant state of flux. How can you defend a network if you don't know what it looks like at any point in time? Again, don't go crazier trying to figure that out.
Process. Process is good. Process tells everybody what they need to do and when. It's called roles and responsibilities, and we're going to say that quite a bit, roles and responsibilities. Documented processes are also repeatable, which means you can do the same thing over and over again, or tweak them if you need to, and do them again. Now, processes are also auditable, which means that those people that come and tell you whether you're doing something right or wrong can actually come and see what you did on paper, how you did what you did, as opposed to just giving you an X because you don't know, you can't show them what you did. Documented roles and responsibilities help not just the security team, but across your enterprise, because it helps reduce errors and duplication, and it enhances everyone's understanding of what's trying to be accomplished. So, at Super Mega Corp, the team lead of the web team is new, and he's not quite sure what their processes are. Hey, Mike, I'm Shelly. I'm the security ops team lead.
Awesome.
So,
nice to meet you.
We have a problem with the website.
Okay.
I think we've isolated it to one server. I need you to take that one server out of rotation so that we can have a quick look at it. But the CIO has said, you know what, the website has to stay up, no downtime. We can do that, right? That's not our problem?
Maybe. I can't say for sure, but I've only been here for a short period of time. There's no process that's outlined to take one server out of that farm, but I mean, they were designed with full redundancy and everything. So right now, if we're already having a problem, what's a little bit more downtime going to be? Let's test it out. Let's try it.
Is that the answer that the CIO wants to hear? Definitely not. So processes not only help the security operations team, they help beyond that into the business, because especially when you have to meld the requirements of your business, like uptime. Those are big things. We serve the business. So you want to make sure to reduce the frustration in your environment that you get those processes documented, that you practice them, so that you can just shake it off and get on with it.
Now, with said process, your people need to know what they're doing, how to do it, where to go, what to look for. That allows, well, smooth operations for your security team. And when you are responding, it'll make it significantly faster and better. Sorry?
It's sweeter than fiction.
It is. It is significantly sweeter than fiction. Thank you, Shelly. Now, in this one, I'm going to be approaching Shelly, and she is the security manager. She's kind of the, she's the team lead. She's the big head honcho.
No one believes that.
Yeah. So I'm going to be quickly asking you for a quick, couple updates, because I need to report them up. So hey, Shelly.
Hey.
I'm wondering if you would be able to give me some updates on give us a rundown on what your security team's doing, what everybody's looking at, kind of everyone utilized appropriately.
Cool. When do you need that by?
End of day. I mean, it's 9 a.m., right?
Okay. Yeah. Well, we got the incident thing going on, and yeah, I'll have to get an update on that. I haven't talked to those guys in a couple hours. A couple projects, and there's the daily stuff the guys are doing. And today, hey, tomorrow morning will be better. Yeah, that'll be good. Good talk.
If that was me in that situation, my frustration would be rising very quickly. It shows, again, a lack of roles and responsibilities being defined. There's no reporting, there's nothing really there. So again, if that did exist, your team would run smoother than fiction. Sweeter than fiction is what I should say.
So now we get to the good part, right? Because we're all geeks and we love our toys.
I love technology.
I love technology.
So you've got technology inside of your organization, and it's a requirement. You need that. You can't really protect your organization without it. So if you have low-hanging fruit, major threats, there's all these risks that you've identified. You need to choose the lowest hanging fruit and pick a technology that covers that. Don't just buy it to have it. Everybody loves to have all the things. But for technology, that's not always the case. Your attacker is going to send a horse and carriage to your proverbial castle to try and breach it. And if they can get in with said horse and carriage, they're not going to send anything else. It's cheap, it's easy, quick. We'll just maintain our persistence there. So when buying technology, plan it appropriately, test it, everything like that. So
there's been technical
we're going to continue. This slide doesn't change. So Shelly.
Yes.
We've got a big wad of budget at the end of the year, and we need to spend it, or else we're not going to, we're not going to be able to.
Dance.
Yeah, budget is awesome, right? So we need some technology, and we need to purchase it for our environment, because if we don't spend our budget, we're not going to get as much next year. What do we need that we don't have?
So let's see, malware sandboxing would be cool.
Oh.
We've been throwing around application whitelisting for the servers. Oh, I got it. I went to this demo last week.
Okay.
Demo was killer.
Yep.
Okay. Big red,
Yep.
next gen, find evil button.
And it's just how does that fit in our environment?
It finds evil.
Hey, I'm sold.
Exactly.
We might as well go out and buy all those things. Give it a try. Now, when you have all said technology, remember, you're not out of the woods just because you have implemented this. You have to secure it, configure it, and make sure that somebody knows how to run it. And even then, let's be honest, we know you're still not out of the woods yet when that's been done. the last piece about technology. With the three things that we've discussed, people, process, and technology, we feel that's going to make you significantly more secure. It's going to give your team the ability to respond, and that's just going to make things run significantly smoother. Now, we've implemented our big red next generation find evil button. Let's find out how that went. Hey, Shelly, I know we didn't have much time for the guys, but I'm hoping you can give me some update on the technology we bought.
Yeah. So first, some bad news. The application whitelisted for the servers, we bought that, and the server guys said we can't implement it because we didn't ask them first, and we suck.
Ouch.
So yeah, not surprising. Big red,
yes.
next generation find evil button.
Yes.
It came. There was a quick start guide from the vendor. So we just stuck it, plugged it in, lit up. I go in there and I push it about 5 times a day. It has found nothing. We are super secure.
I like it. That makes me feel very comfortable, and I feel like we are out of the woods. So as we had mentioned, out of the box does not always mean secured.
What?
No, it's true. When you buy technology, it's awesome and it's always fun to play with. But out of the box, you need to configure it and secure it for your environment, for your needs, for your gaps. And that's that.
All right. Now, first of all, when we were writing this presentation, I cannot literally separate hashtag from winning. I blame Charlie Sheen. Hashtag winning. So I'm going to recap some of the song titles that we talked about, bring this home a little bit, hopefully burn it in your brain for the ride home, and whenever you get back to work on Monday, or a week from now if you're staying for a class, hopefully. Now, in life and in our work, we frequently come across situations where through fault of our own, or through fault of other people, or previous incidents, there is bad blood, there is anger, there is resentment, there is downright dislike between folks. And when that happens, we need to take a step back. We need to figure out what's going on and how do we bring it back. Because at the end of the day, the last thing you want is for other teams in your environment to never, ever, ever want to have a relationship with you and the security team. Because it makes our jobs harder to do every day. Now, that said, in the words of a very wise woman, haters gonna hate, 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 hate. But we think those people are the exception. People in your organization do not want to hate security. They simply have not been given the opportunity to understand in it, to share in it, and to appreciate it. A truly wise man once said, "Be the change you want to see in the world." And I think that applies to our work as well. You need to help the people in your organization, from IT to business, end users to executives, have their eyes open to how amazing security is and how integral it is to their success by practicing transparency, letting them understand what you're doing. You also need to be involved in the organization and how that runs, and let the organization be involved in the security program. And lastly, your security practice should be accountable for what you do. Security should never be able to just do stuff and walk away. We believe that people are the bedrock of a good security program. So you want to make sure that your counterparts in IT and the business understand that you are never going to give them up or let them down, at least not on purpose and not without trying hard. Being a trusted core partner of the larger organization should be the goal of any security program.
Perfect. So we're covering, don't go crazier trying to figure out your processes. Shake it off when you're starting to get issues. And when your security operations team can run smoothly, it's sweeter than fiction. And then finally, when you have that technology implemented correctly, you are safe and sound. And then you can be out of the woods.
Now, change is defined as the act or instance of making different. So we want to make sure that when we have all of these things in place, we need to find good people, document and deliver our processes. We need to implement the right technology so it works for us now and in the future. And suddenly you will find that everything has changed.
And with that, thank you.